Thank you. First of all, I would like to acknowledge our listeners out there, and I acknowledge in a special way the work that the commander and the members of the Republic of Fiji military forces, the work that they are doing, both in terms of the land forces and also the Navy, in helping to keep Fiji and our people safe. The Ministry of Defense exists in a big way because of the role of the RFMF, in addition to other areas covered within the broad heading of national security. So I would like to acknowledge that, and I would also like to acknowledge our Fijian people and our partners who feature prominently in the work that we do. Now, in 2026, 2026 was a year that perhaps mixed at best in terms of what Fiji went through, in terms of national security. Obviously, what became very prominent throughout the course of the year was the role of the ministry and also RFMF in the area of the non-traditional organized crime. And that really was the big focus of the work that we did. And ultimately, in that regard, we continue to see the joint operations work of the Fiji police and the RFMF. So I think that is probably the most significant part of our work. Because what it did was it posed a challenge nationally. The challenge was posed to the ministry and RFMF to see how their role can become relevant to keeping Fiji safe, which is this is not the traditional role of the military. So we had to try and work a way around it. I had a series of challenges, and some were small, some were quite big. Some we're still meddling with at the moment, trying to resolve. But I think if you're looking for one area in particular, in 2026, where our work has really become challenging and big, is in the area of managing transnational organized crime in liaison with the Fiji police. We faced, I think we just come off the back of the reorganization of the ministry. You will understand, previously, in 2023, we were the Ministry of Home Affairs, before part of the portfolios was shared or divided into 3 separate ministries, what later became the Ministry of Immigration, Policing, and also then Defense. And we've had to adjust to that and provide all of our support to ensure that the new ministries of policing and immigration continue to perform their functions, unhindered. That was one of the biggest things that happened. Now, in addition to that, 2025, going on 2026, So what was our main effort, and that was budgeted for, and that was the implementation of the national security strategy, as you know. So at the beginning of 2023, we started this process, and it carried on into 2024. And then the whole of 2025 was mostly about implementation. And we, obviously, as you know, national security is not the primary role of the RFMF. National security is a whole of nation, but led by government. And the three ministries that used to be under one roof actually lead the charge in that area. But the fact that they've been assigned different responsibilities to different ministries, one of the best things that came out of that was that we were able to rededicate ourselves just looking after the RFMF as an institution, which is, quite a tough challenge, so to speak. Now, the police and immigration are in very capable hands. I thank my team for allowing that transition to occur. But when it comes to the NSS, obviously these three institutions must come together. So when we finally acknowledged the national security strategy, I'm glad that we were all able to come to a consensus that the document that was prepared by Colonel Sandy and the group reflected, our national security need, which not only involved the military, the police, or immigration, but involves every other sector of government, both in the traditional and in the non-traditional sectors, affecting, when you talk about threat and how it affects Fiji. So that, whilst split up, posed some challenges at the beginning, but I think generally at the end of the day, we were able to reconsolidate and work out how we were going to work together. Particularly, as I said, in 2026, our greatest area of threat and challenge was in transnational organized crime. And drug was a big one, illegal fishing was another one. Cybercrime continues to, attack our nations, particularly critical infrastructure and, the private sector in many ways, and in government also past. So working together, was our main effort really. And I think we've come out okay with that. And as I alluded to earlier, the joint operations between the police and the military will continue. And that's primarily between 25-26. The implementation of the NSS was sort of at the center of the work that we did, with all of those challenges, of course. Yeah. One of the things that we realized that our role is best achieved. I'm talking about the role of the ministry and the RFMF is best achieved if we work in partnership with other nations and also with other agencies. So primary focus for this budget here, 2026-2027, is to be able to allow us to build capacity for the ministry. As you see, we've just moved up here. Once again, the implementation of the national security strategy is at the center. And born out of that, we're talking about the write-up of the new peacekeeping strategy. So we've looked at different people, organizations that can do that for us. We're just waiting to award that contract now to to some very, very important people who have very long years of experience in the area of both regional and international peacekeeping to try and make certain determinations about our need right now. One of the other sectors that we'll be looking at as part of the NSS implementation is the write-up of the new RFMF Act and the new Defense Management Act. So those are some of the allocations that that we hope that is going to be provided for in this new budget going forward. Also, as part of the NSS is the establishment of the Defense Intelligence Organization, or the Office of National Assessment here at the Ministry of Defense. You will understand that one of the major discoveries of the NSS is that Fiji does not have a combined or a joint intelligence assessment agency. So every different entity collects intelligence and briefs government independently, but there is not a central agency that looks after that, together to inform the decisions on national security. So those is one of the areas as well, part of the NSS that we would like hopefully see the implementation. The ongoing reforms of the RFMF is another big one. So not only are we looking at that ourselves, but also in conjunction with RFMF and also with other partners. But here, that is part of the work that we have asked to be funded as well in this new budget, and we're looking forward to some of those allocations. But as I said earlier, we are a very small ministry. Our allocation is small. The ministry in itself has no capital investment. But a lot of it is about investments into national security in the areas that affect the state, and also looking after the best development of RFMF as an institution. But from the beginning, this was all, it began with the process of the National Security and Defense Review. The NSS came out as a result of that. So we're still into that part of the implementation, and some of the policy decisions that we are going to make are based on those areas where we hope to spend money in this next financial year. Let me begin by saying that the security of our nation and our people is all of our responsibility. Primarily, first, anyone who's living within in the 300 islands of the Fijian group. Anyone in every in every division and arm of the state and in all of our communities. We cannot achieve the total sum of how we can protect ourselves without working together. And that has been strongly highlighted in the national security strategy. But a very important and essential component of that is how we work with our partners, particularly regional partners who are our friends, partners who are our traditional partners, and also partners in development. We depend on them whilst they depend on us, for the security of our region. And I've spoken at length about transnational organized crime, where the refocus of the ministry and the RFMF is going forward. But I would like to say that with our regional partners and our traditional partners, the agreements that we have reached and that we have signed in the past continue to enable us to work together, and I would encourage that we continue to do that, because Fiji, whilst is an island nation, cannot live or exist in isolation of the rest of the world or the region. Okay. Now, having said that, the challenges continue to mount. You see discovery of drugs everywhere. Fiji is an archipelagic state. It is physically impossible to dominate each and every space. We hear our traditional leaders calling for the community, rallying them up. This is a great development. We need people to do that, particularly those out there in the island that have eyes and ears over the areas where people enter our country. So if they do that, the rest of all of our community must be able to come to work together to try and keep us safe, not only from drugs, but HIV is a big one. This is also another big one. It is not a health issue only, as you know. Okay, it's a social issue, it's an economical issue, it's a political issue. And at the heart of that means it's become a national security issue. So we would like to acknowledge the partnerships that we have with our, with all of our partners, particularly Australia in a big way, keeping our maritime our maritime area safe. Eh? So last year, the national, the Maritime Essential, the Buwale Maritime Essential Service Center was commissioned by the Deputy Prime Minister of Australia. It's a $200 million facility that gives Fiji, the capacity to be able to monitor and coordinate activities around our maritime zone. And that's a big one. That is one measure of how we work together with our partners. And there are many. The US, New Zealand, also in a particular way, working with the People's Republic of China, who are also our partners in development. So we I see that these partnerships working together, will contribute to keeping Fiji safe. But that can only be possible if we, the Fijian people, first come together ourselves as a group, come together and then working with our partners to help making Fiji a better place to live.
Honorable Minister, for your time.